What is something that's so common that we forget just how crazy it is?
Modern transportation. We used to walk everywhere or at best, ride a horse and then eventually in a carriage. Traveling took weeks, months, and years, not mere minutes, hours, or days. We can cross oceans and mountain ranges, objects that were barriers completely for a long time. We have cars that drive themselves and train services that operate without drivers. We can now go places without doing anything. It's amazing.
Ordering something huge and having it at your door the next day.
Being able to chat with someone on the other side of the world anytime you like.
Water is the only common material we know of that expands when it turns solid instead of compressing. Wild stuff. Imagine if I sank. Mobile phone. You have whole world's information in your pocket.
I carry a computer in my pocket with more processing power than the one that took us to the moon. It also has a built-in camera, telephone, internet connection, and video games.
Nearly every night you can go outside, look up, and observe and find a tail an astronomical body that's larger than Pluto, glowing brightly, floating around us. More than 50 years ago, humans traveled there on a giant bottle rocket, walked around, took some pics, got back on the boom tube, and rode it back to Earth.
Planes. People usually don't look twice, but come on. That's upwards of over 1 million pounds of metal, equipment and cargo just flying through the air like it's paper. Imagine your car flying. It seems impossible, yet there's aircraft that can carry many models of any car like it's nothing. It's one thing they fly in the first place, but for example, a Boeing 747 can take off carrying more weight than it itself weighs, which I believe at max load is pushing 1 million pounds. This plane can take off weighing about the same as 312 Nissan Altimas. Is that not crazy to anybody else? Don't even get me started on the engines they use. The Boeing 777 uses the GE9115B. One of those engines alone produces upward of 115,000 pounds of thrust, and it has 2 of them. Edit. Just to add to it, the 747 bone dry weighs about 412,000 pounds depending on exact model. It can take off weighing 970,000 pounds, it weighs 412,000, and can take off loaded with an additional 558,000 pounds. That is literally unimaginable weight. And it lifts off the ground like a damn feather. If you don't think that's crazy, think of anything realistically crazier.
We let people drive these massive machines that can go high rates of speed and cause enormous damage and don't really retest their abilities beyond a renewal or minimal testing.
Consciousness.